Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're gonna check the new limited supporter for LAN. But before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So these supporters do not rerun, so keep an eye out for this and the next limited supporter, because you have to decide whether or not you grab this. This one is available on the Desire shop. I do suggest that you get at least that copy if you don't have enough resources to roll on this banner. But let's check what this supporter is going to offer. So, starting with the passive, reduces cooldown time of character skills by 10% up to 20%, increases the damage dealt with the skills by 14% up to 28%. If Su Jinglei is your ally, increases damage dealt with skills by an additional 10%. So, first of all, we have something extremely unique, and that's cooldown reduction. There's a handful of supporters that provide cooldown reduction for skills, so that already makes this supporter really worth it. Even though it is worth it, the fact that it doesn't have a big damage increase makes this not as appealing as other supporters. But if you make a composition with a Su that supports you, you can have up to 38% damage increase, and that's pretty viable. Honestly, 28% skill damage increase is not that bad. It's basically a Stella, a little bit less than a Stella, but still pretty good. So yeah, I mean, it is a great supporter. Then we have an extra passive. Reduces damage taken by 20% while using a skill. Yeah, honestly, I don't know how this works because I have been doing some testing and I don't see a buff appearing while I cast the skill or while my skill is active. So maybe it's not as a buff, which would be weird. You can make the math and tell me if it works, or maybe it's bugged, something like that. We also have the active. The active summons as sand spears and deals damage equal to 520% of attack up to 1040% of attack, snaring the enemies for 5 seconds. So pretty decent damage and a snare effect for 5 seconds. That's appreciated. Unfortunately, the cooldown is pretty long, and that's not really nice. But the main appeal of this supporter is actually the cooldown reduction. So let's test it a little bit. I'm going to show you right now with Felicia, but we're not gonna clear this with Felicia. Why? Because Felicia is an excellent supporter and she enhances her capabilities with LAN, but you don't want to clear stages with this build. So let me show you. So first of all, my recommendation is to use either Reaper's Wing to increase your damage, or Shikabane, the Momochi weapon, to reduce the defense of the enemy. Then we have Vampiric Zone, which has 18 second cooldown. That's huge, guys. The fact that we reduce the 20% of that, it's amazing, guys. The thing is, the higher the cooldown, the more benefit you get out of the supporter. And that's great. Then, Slaying Spree, which also has 18-second cooldown. This one is going to allow you to heal the party, and this one is going to reduce the speed of the enemy while dealing damage. Lastly, I use Bloodsight, but you can change it for maybe Vampiric Blood or whatever thing that you want. Even if you're letting the AI use this, you can use Sanguine Smash? I don't know how to pronounce this. But on green is going to give you a counter that has a 30% damage reduction on 10 seconds. That's really, really good. Honestly, supporter Felicia on green is amazing. So if you want to use this, go for it. I'm going to equip it just cause. A Vampiric Zone. Yeah, just like that. And now, for the supporters. Land, of course, because this is going to allow us to sorry about that, to reduce the cooldown tremendously so that we abuse our skills, and we also can snare the enemy. We use heavy cover here to poison the enemy, and we use also it gives us damage increase and damage reduction, and the same when the enemy is poisoned we gain damage reduction, and this basically gives us damage increase on melee attacks. So it is just a combination that I like to use, but honestly you can equip whatever you want over here. If you want to go supportive, as we have seen, you can equip things like Lamarck, like Yachio. You can also equip Misaki in BR, Corporate Warrior Ingrid, that is also very good. You can equip Kirara to become tankier, Hisui to become tankier. There's plenty of options for supportive builds. So now let's do a quick run. Well, not a quick run, just a quick demonstration of what she is supposed to do, because you're gonna be able to abuse your skills. Look, it was 18 seconds for the skills, and now it's only 9 seconds. That's great, that's amazing. And we're going to CC the enemy into oblivion, because they cannot respond due to the slow and the amount of multi-hits that we have. So that's basically it. The issue with this build, it is that it's a supportive build. You want it for content with multiple Taimanin, where you can debuff the enemy this way. For example, on... where is it? On LWS squad, this is not a great build because the enemies have immunity to slow. And now look at Murasaki. She is not dying. We don't have enough damage, but we do have the debuff. We do have the control, and that's what this Felicia is offering. Besides, just by doing this, she's going to heal a ton. And now let's use this to control the enemies even further by stopping them for a couple seconds. And done. As you can see, I could finish the stage, but it would be a hassle because I don't have enough damage. Besides, I might be short on time, so I'd rather use another character. Well, we do have Astaroth. Astaroth benefits from this build, but the issue that Astaroth has is that she benefits the most with this supporter when you're doing dailies, because the green skills helps a lot on dailies, or it helps to remove mobs, but she's not going to have the most damage on challenging content. Even so, I can clear this and I will show you. We're gonna use Serpent Blaze with 16-second cooldown. We're gonna use Fire Wave, and that's the issue. Astaroth likes to use the basic enhancers, and you get diminishing returns if you use a basic enhancer, because those do not have cooldown. Then Lava Servant, because it has 19-second cooldown, and let's just see what this is going to offer. So the higher the cooldown, the more benefit you get out of this. So we start by using this, and just in a couple seconds I will be able to use, yeah, I already have the skill up. Pretty simple. And I just do this. 7 seconds, 8 seconds, something like that. Honestly, it is amazing how strong the cooldown reduction can be. Basically, if you pair this with the skill training, you're done. You're going to be able to use your skills non-stop. But that's a thing that you have to take into consideration. You are basically going to get the most benefit out of mixed builds and green builds. You can go with a mismatch and go with a blue build using a green supporter. but you don't get that much benefit out of that. The exception is if your red or blue build uses a critical rate skill. Those one actually give you a ton of benefit because you don't miss that much the critical rate on that skill. So those skills are viable when you want to use the supporter. So basically, a ton of characters are going to be able to use this on both on green mix and also on mismatch for either red or blue. And I'm going to use this just to clear the enemies, which I shouldn't because I can clear the enemies easily. And yeah, 9 seconds, basically 9 seconds on the perfect dodge for the cooldown. Honestly, it is great. Especially for Astaroth, because she has just such long cooldowns for her skills. Unfortunately, red and blue for Astaroth are not the colors that she wants to use this supporter because they give you the critical rate increase. Not the green one gives you the critical rate. This one gives you critical damage, and this one skill damage. Let's do another one very quick. This one is going to be for one of the best targets for this supporter, and that's Ragnarok. I mean, freeze, OP, obviously. So we're going to use the weapon, we're going to use Frost Wind to increase the damage. Icicle Zone is not that necessary, but honestly, like, I don't have anything else that I would like to use. Maybe Freezing Slash could be an option. Yeah, I'll equip Freezing Slash just cause. Because the enemies are gonna be permafrost. Then, Frostwind. No, Snowstorm. We're gonna abuse Snowstorm so much that the enemy is not going to move. Then we use Ragnarok Supporter to take advantage of that debuff. We use Lan to just cycle into skills quickly. And Nanao to increase damage. So, let's check this super quick. And yeah, just like that, I will be able to use my skills to buff and then to just shred everyone into oblivion. And again skills, and again skills. The good thing about this supporter is that you don't have to be conservative about using your skills. You just use them and that's it. Because you have enough, you have a very short cooldown. Even if it is a long cooldown, maybe 10 seconds or more. No, because it's not going to be 10 seconds. It would have to be like 20 seconds for it to be 10 seconds of cooldown with the supporter. So, yeah. Pretty simple. We just abuse this. And abuse it, and abuse it. So, again, do not bother saving your skills. Because between the transitions and everything, you will be able to use them again. Just like that, and this, and done. Nice. I am not going to use the ulti with this one. Okay, nice. Just like this, and Frost. And just like that, I finish with the enemy. Yeah, it is not that difficult when you have that much CC. Okay, another one. We abuse the Frost as much as possible. Yeah, I think it's Frost. I don't remember the name of the debuff. Let's see. And done. And just Kirara is missing. And the animation just gave us what we needed. I'm gonna start by using my skill. Then I reposition. And then I use this. And I buff myself even further. And I buff myself even further. And I use my skill. And the active. Why not? You two go down. Done. As simple as that. Yeah, there are characters that benefit more from this kind of strategy. For example, in the case of Ragnarok, if I'm not mistaken, she's able to use this supporter Lan on blue because blue has the critical rate. Yeah, reduce enemy's speed. Yeah, you could use 2 blue, 1 green, and take a ton of benefit out of this. Well, not that much because it already has a shorter cooldown, but even so, it's benefit nonetheless. Now, let's go with Saika. One of the best characters that you can use with this. And we pair it with another disgusting supporter. So we abuse Aerial because we want to use, of course, Shadowless Kick to deal massive amount of damage. And we use Takeover. 18-second cooldown. But it disarmed the enemy for 10 seconds. And the cooldown is 9 seconds. You can infinitely... no, wait a moment. It's 4 seconds. The disarm is 4 seconds, but the buff is 10 seconds. So you're basically always buffed as long as you use this. And you have a 6-second downtime of disarm. So most of the time, the enemy is going to be either disarmed or stunned because of the amount of hits that you deal, which is great. And Moon Assault is just here in case you need healing, but if you don't need healing, you could use different skills depending on what you want, like the basic enhancer, stomp, spin kick, gale kick. It only depends on your preference, even Calamity Over, because of the good AoE. As for supporters, we use Wild West Francis, because Wild West Francis is going to be a healing option, a buff, and also increases the damage of melee attacks, increases the speed, and if you have this on the main, it also has a chance to reset the cooldown when you get hit. And since we're going to do a perfect dodge, it is within the realm of possibilities that I get hit and then I get the cooldown reset. And lastly, we have Saika, just a generic damage increase. You can substitute this for Nano if you want. Nanao if you want, and let's do a run. And yeah. So remember, the longer the cooldown, the more benefit you get. And not only should you focus on what's the name? On the pure color skill. Another important thing that you should consider are any other skills that have long cooldown that provide a ton of benefit. Like Takeover in Saika's case. It is honestly pretty good. Now, we start by... I'm gonna start by doing the dodge. The perfect dodge. Yeah. And then I just combo everyone into oblivion. Nice. Just like that. And Murasaki is not done because she was a lone enemy. Had it been with someone else like this, maybe we could have... No! She was too far away. But the thing is, the more combos I do, the higher the last hit damage. Okay. Just combo. Where are you going? God. And Shadowless Kick. This should be... I mean, she's tanky, but honestly, this is the one that takes the most time against when using Saika. The other ones are pretty easy. Nice. Just like that. And you see the healing potential is just amazing. The healing is okay with Francis, but if you're not extremely tanky, it's not gonna be good enough. Okay. This and... Oof. Combo into oblivion. You see, it only took one hit because of the amount of enemies that were gathered together. It is just great. And that's why I'm also going to be able to deliver a finishing blow to Kirara quickly. Maybe even just one skill activation. It just depends on how the enemies gather. Okay, just like that. And now that they are together, yeah. Done. 2 million damage. Look at that. Honestly, it is... Saika is just great when you have this weapon. If you don't have her, the weapon, she's a little bit more niche. Well, a lot more niche. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. I needed to avoid to disarm first. Well, anyways, I'll use the active to buff myself, and even so, one combo was more than enough. And I use this, and done. Ah, there's another one. I'll use the ultimate for that one. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Let's do one more run, but this time with a mismatch build. I didn't check who could be an option, a viable option. So let's see, who has a long cooldown on a critical rate pure color skill? If I'm not mistaken, this one is blue. Mag Punch. 17. Mwah! Wonderful, wonderful. We can use her. So, let me just move a little bit, and we start with... We finish with Asuka. So, let's just change this costume, and let's equip this one. Race Queen. Yeah, that's fine. As for skills, I want... As for Magatamas, I want these ones. And for the sub Magatamas, red you are, whatever Magatamas. Perfect. Then, we want to go blue. Well, I'm going to use this one. I honestly don't need this effect, so I'm going to equip not the triple color. Yeah, this one is gonna be good. And the question is what to use on the last one. Reduce speed, increase speed, reduce speed. I think that I want to use Bombscape. Oh, but I cannot. Oh, it's the same command. Okay, then I'll use the basic enhancer. Yeah, because what was the other one? Kill 'em all missiles. That activates on triple color. So I want to use it on the sub slot, this one, because I can get a better main slot. Now, what can I get for damage increase? Generic damage increase. First of all, critical. Yeah, that's an option. Critical damage. I am machine. I am suppress. Could go for this one actually, but no, it gives more benefit to protect. Oh, yes. Yes, this one. And yeah, I'll use. Do I buff myself? No. In that case, I'll use this one. Yep, pretty good build. Now, skills done. And let's do a run. Even if it's a mismatch, as long as you equip it on a critical rate skill, it doesn't matter, it gives you a ton of benefit. And you saw that this was 17-second cooldown. Yeah, look at that. What is the other command? Hold... No, it is a perfect dodge. That explains. Yeah, this is gonna be good for wave clearing, but I don't seem to have the damage. I mean, I'm still missing a copy of the weapon. But even so, you can use this if you want. Let's see. Yeah, it is the renewal weapon, the one that I have, even though the skin is different. Ah, yeah, another thing that I should be doing is use the active, of course. That's what I'm missing damage, because I'm not activating. I still have a ton of HP. Okay, I just... it's the Taimanin art. Still a long cooldown, huh? No, 7 seconds? No, it's not that long, god. It's just that Murasaki is tanky. I don't want to deal with Murasaki. So I'll just use this and also this one. Come on, attack me. just like that. And I'll use this and the skill and also a couple basics. Where are you going? No! Well, that worked. That worked. Okay, just a couple more hits. Nice. Yeah. I mean, it is not devastating damage, I'll admit that much. But it's working. And this means that you can use it even if you don't go pure color. Oh, well, you're gonna experience the same problem on any critical rate skill. Because though their base damage is higher than the other skills, they don't have multipliers. That's why they compensate. So yeah, the damage problem is gonna be present in most cases. Unless you have one of those special skills that is actually pretty good and it's not a pure color skill. Maybe a triple color skill. Let's see, just like that. And I use this. Oof. Just a couple hits. And done. Yeah, I'm definitely using the ultimate right away at the start of the next battle. Come on, evade. Done. Nice, nice, nice. And another hit with Mach Punch. And another hit with Mach Punch. And now I'm going to start by clearing the wave of those mobs, and then I can just focus on her. I mean, the issue with damage is always going to be present, because these are the builds that you don't want to use for the most part. But this is no Murasaki. It is just easier to just deplete her HP. Nice, nice, nice. Just a couple more hits. Come on, there. Just like that. And done. Yeah. I mean, Murasaki is the tanky one. This one is risky if you don't have enough damage reduction and healing. And Kirara is just... I mean, she's not dangerous. The dangerous part is the enemy she's paired with. Honestly, I like what they did with this stage. It has a ton of things that you have to take into account so that you defeat the stage. Now, I'm just going to use my skill. And done. Next. The best thing to do is just to evade quickly. And then use the skill to deal with multiple enemies. Come on. Another one. Just like that. Perfect. Yeah, we want to beat them ASAP. Again, they are risky. Mach Punch. Perfect dodge. And I would use the active if it dealt damage, but it doesn't. So I rather keep my HP. Okay, just like that. Enemy is gone. Okay, easy. Oof, I didn't activate my skill. Or well, I didn't cast it. I did activate it. Okay, just like that. Come on, just a hit from Mach Punch. Just like that, perfect. And now the mobs are gone. I can use, well, if you run into me like that, okay, I can use this. And kaput. So yeah, it is doable on a mismatch, sure. But again, these skills, the critical rate increase skills, are always going to be underperforming when we compare them with something that has a damage multiplier. So, should you should you roll for this supporter? I mean, you don't need it. And right now, Sue isn't the greatest companion to begin with. She doesn't offer too much utility. So, in terms of damage, you're getting compensated thanks to the cooldown reduction. But honestly, it is not really required. But I, again, do suggest getting the desired copy, because these banners do not rerun. If that influences your decision to grab this supporter or not, it's okay. Just consider that we're gonna get Ragnarok's supporter soon enough, and weapon. Well, that's about it for today. I hope you find this useful, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!